Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Fastball drilled high in the air, deep to center field. Did he do it again? You bet he did. Dairon Blanco hits another home run.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of what we've done all year, right? You know, we have an issue with something, we make the adjustment, and we come out and get it done. You know, it's the sign of a good team, and you know, like you said, offensively, our pitchers have done a great job of kind of carrying the torch, and offensively, we're stepping up.
This would not impact that many games per week. Yes, it would eliminate the openers. No one's going to miss that.
They need to do this because we're seeing the value of starting pitchers go down and down and down, which has a financial impact. We're seeing now this massive ocean of relievers in baseball. They become like running backs in the NFL, where they're not really valued in the same way they used to be.
Long 2, short 3 at the Lion 33. 3-0 Kansas City. Steele gets it. No, they're going to fake it to him. They get it to Kelsey on that RPO fake. Great ride. And he throws it behind his back. Mahomes has been practicing this at camp. Everybody's wanting him to do it. He just did it for 9 yards.
We had a play called where it was an RPO play, and Travis was supposed to run an out route. We had the leverage we wanted. I should have known because he asked me what he had as he was motioning over. You can see him kind of look back at me. I thought I told him, and it was going to be open, so I pulled it, and then he wasn't out there, so I was going to run for it, and of course he was blocking, and he just turned around, and I just threw it to him. So
good to see Worthy get started. Rice had a nice day. Prince jumped in there. Running back had some nice snaps. Defensively, Hicks, good young player.
Well, listen, he's played well. I'm not announcing any starting quarterback tonight, or I'll let you guys know. It's better.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Fall is here. The leaves are not, well, they're not falling. It's August 19th, and Sports Day is on the air. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the program. Steve Webster with you from the Mayo Money Management Studios today, joined by my co-host, cohorts in mass. Mike Corson, Mike Hesher, and Rocket Man Landon Winkler running the controls here. Welcome to Sports Day, boys. Had a good summer?
Yes. Fall for today and tomorrow, then 101 degrees on Wednesday. We're back to summer. Can we have that off again?
It's fine, man. This is a perfect day. The start of fall sports season. This used to be the most dreaded day of my entire life.
What has changed?
2-a-days.
Oh, 2-a-days.
We're
Okay.
going to do 2 shows for a week, man. No. And you just think about it all day, and you say, well, I probably go out and run and get in a little bit of shape. And then you say, nah, I'll just gut through it. But you can't do that now because they have camps all summer long. You can't go fishing or anything like that. But, yeah, good luck to all the athletes as we get set for another year.
Yeah, back in your day, I could go out for a run, or I could watch Chips. Poncherella.
That's before Chips, I'm afraid.
It was Petticoat Junction and Green Acres, man. Might catch the triple show of the Munsters. Yeah, things have changed. Our first show out of the chute, been some changes since we talked to you last. We have a new football play-by-play voice for the Great Bend Panthers. Well, I don't know if it's a new one. He's an old one. Mike Hesher is the play-by-play voice for Great Bend Panther football this year, and it's kind of, we'll call Sean Bear a companion animal, okay?
I would agree with that, yes. I like that.
Sean Bear is going to be back in the booth. Of course, he spent several seasons with Randy Gehring as the color analyst for Panther football, and he's going to be back. He's going to join us here. We'll talk Panthers a little bit. We're still 3 weeks away to start breaking down the entire offensive line, but Sean's going to be in here today. Jim Mazunas, ready to break out. I mean, it's like back to school. You have your best outfit for the first day of school.
Well, where's Jim Bretz at then?
What's that?
Where's Jim Bretz, the guy from the Kansas pregame magazine?
John,
sorry. I'm sorry, did I jump the shark? Okay, I'm already getting kicked off.
Is Sean Bear going to have the chance to mute his microphone on Friday nights?
No, I will control that. Good point, though.
Give him the cancel button.
You're just consistent. You just
I
consistent.
try to be, yes. Okay.
In the show, Jim Mizunas is back. He's going to show his first day of school. He's always dressed sharply. And on the prowl, we don't have a prowl guy. He's umpiring.
I'll have to work on getting
T-ball
deeper.
games now,
Yes.
so, okay.
Well, I'm so used to the yoo-hoo on.
Lyles Lashley will be in for
Oh boy.
the first on the prowl feature today. Are you going to break down how the splits and everything? You're going to talk a lot of Olympics today.
I'm only talking about the mixed 4x4.
Okay.
Dutch.
So Lyles Lashley is going to be on with us. We'll have sports headlines of the weekend. Of course, we'll begin with sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Mike Hesher, early in the season, when you predicted the Royals were going to win how many games?
69.
69 games. He said the reason that he didn't go higher than that was the Royals were going to have to rely on Dairon Blanco for all their offense. What a weekend he had. The call yesterday on KVGB, Blanco continued his assault on Reds pitching. He had a solo home run to center. That came in the fifth inning. That put Casey ahead 3-0. Royals go on to beat Cincinnati 8-1. Had just 64 at-bats coming into the series. Hit his third home run in 2 days and started the rally with a bunt single, helping the Royals outscore the Reds 28-3 in this series. Certainly, they definitely needed that.
They had the fun bat, so he was using the yellow. It wasn't a Crayola bat, but it was some type of off-brand crown. So it made it even more fun. But he has 7 RBIs in the first 3 or 4 innings. What was that, Friday night?
Yeah.
Friday night, yeah.
And then he comes up in the 5th inning with the bases loaded again. It could have been unbelievable. Unfortunately, I think he struck out.
Dairon Blanco, that's what you get. You get contributions from everybody. Brady Singer snapped a 2-game losing streak, had a 45-minute rain delay, and he came back out to pitch.
That's amazing to me that they brought him back.
Gave up 5 hits, a walk, hit batter, struck out 7. Royals' 4th straight win gives them a winning record on the road for the first time this season. Michael Massey, who's been playing very well, just hopefully he can stay healthy, talking about, we just look at this as another challenge. So we just want to keep playing better on the road. Well, they're over 500 now on the road. Royals back at home tonight. They'll begin a 3-game series with the Angels. We'll have it for you starting at 6:30 on KVGB.
So this is my 3rd season on the show. This might be the first time over 500 for the Royals. Perhaps early season last year, but I'm not sure that they did.
Not last year, I don't think.
I don't think we were even talking Royals at the end of.
But definitely, yeah, when we came on at this time of year, it was...
It was who? We've got a pennant race, boys. We've got a pennant race, boys. The Royals are 3 games out. Minnesota's 2 games out. They lost yesterday. The Brewers beating the Guardians 2-0. So how about that? Here we go down the stretch. And the Royals have some space now over the Red Sox for the final wild card spot. So
can I Dr. Doom it? After these 3 games with the Angels, starts the gauntlet, as they're calling it. There's 20 games against all teams that are in the playoffs as of right now.
Well, they need to make hay right now, right?
Well, they need to win these 3, yes, or at least 2 or 3, and get us wins in the bank, I believe is what they called it.
They're in the running.
I understand that, and nobody's happier than I am, even though there's some people out there that disagree that I'm happy
Run
about.
down just for we can review on when we started the season last year in the April edition.
Okay.
Of the predicted wins. By
Are we
this year.
going top to bottom or bottom to top?
No, Corson, he had the worst one the year before. Give him some credit here.
Corson has 84 and 78. He has the best record. Let's see, then Matt Bright is in there at 500, 81 and 81. Dr. Webster is 79 and 83, so he's right up there. Mizunas had 77 and 85. Mike Warren had 75 and 87. Cole has 74 and 88. And then Connor Nickel had 77 and 85. And Gurr had 77 and 85 as well. So I chose very poorly.
Well, I think there's only one person that had a winning record.
And that was
for the
Mike
Royals,
Orson.
who had done the same thing the year before. when
He predicted
when
like
did
89.
56 games.
To be fair, there's a lot of baseball to be played. They could get stuck on 77. I doubt it.
It's a lot of fun. We'll have Royals
It is a
baseball
blast.
for you right now. Kansas City, 14 games over 500, 69 and 55. How many wins did you have the Royals get?
69. As of today, they tied my predicted wins, and they got 38 games left.
You've been able to pull it out of the fire. I hope you don't.
I hope I don't either. I want to lose
every
by
game the rest of the year.
And I'm going to use that argument for this next segment because I think it proves these guys wrong, but we'll see.
Okay. Jeremy Fowler, ESPN, he reported on this Friday. I'm excited about this. I don't know how they'll pull it off. Commissioner's office wants starting pitchers to spend more time on the mound pitching deeper into games. The solution, a 6-inning minimum rule for starting pitchers.
It doesn't.
It makes no sense to me.
You could have a 13-run first inning.
I was going to say, you got to stay out there?
No, that's what he's saying. It's not going to. You don't have to leave the human pitching machine out there if someone's getting lit up. I don't know how you'd say, okay, if he's pitching well, what they want to do is we're just going to the bullpen now. Okay, well, he's going to get through. It's his third time through the order. We're going to take him out, and then we're going to go to one of these bullpen arms. Buster Olney says it's going to happen.
Seriously.
MLB has acknowledged that adding such a rule would not be as simple as forcing every starter to pitch at least 6 innings, but at least you get rid of the openers. What is that? An opener.
Do you see that much anymore? The opener.
Where? I've seen it
Yeah,
yet this year.
bullpen days all the time.
Well, to me, that's different. Bullpen day is different than an opener. I mean, the Tampa Bay used to do the openers all the time, right?
Yeah.
But now that I understand a bullpen day, you got to give some people a rest. But the openers, it doesn't make sense.
Why do people need rest? They're only pitching 4 innings at a time. I mean, the average per start this year is like 5.2.
Now, what is the Royals? Probably over 6, the way they're going.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're getting deep into games.
Wow.
So.
The Royals are Exhibit A as to why starting pitching is valuable. Look at what they've had the last few years. Look at the results. They bring in, 3 new guys, 4? That's most of the difference. You can argue
well,
this
that's
is
the whole
hot hitting,
difference,
but
in my opinion.
And you throw a lot. Mike Warren always used to say, you need to throw more to throw more. You don't need to throw less and then to try to throw more.
Yeah, but that's when kids would play catch all summer long. Now they don't play catch.
They're Major League Baseball. What are they doing? I mean, that's your job. We'll see what happens out of that. The call on B103, The Point, Saturday. Patrick Mahomes goes behind the back to Travis Kelce for a 9-yard gain. You knew it was a preseason game, and that was a big headline. Oh, did the Chiefs win? No, they got beat 24-23. But did you see that pass to Travis Kelce going behind the back? So that was in the middle of the field. It was a 9-yard gain, so it seemed to me like they were practicing their short yardage situations, right?
They're not going to run it up the middle anymore?
No, they're going to go behind the back.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
No, and they said in the broadcast that I don't think they were being facetious, but they said they've been working on it for about 2 years. Even something in the Super Bowl got called up, and Mahomes said, I cannot go behind the back in the Super Bowl.
He says it's got to be generic.
Organic.
Organic, yes.
It has to be in the flow of the game.
Yeah,
it can't be forced.
Right, and it was a good play and behind the back.
I mean, it's like Caitlin Clark's no-look passes all the time.
Oh gosh, we should have put odds on that. How he was going to insert Caitlin Clark into the broadcast. That's the only way. Is a surprise. Andy Reid talking about some of the players that. Well, we saw Rashee Rice. He had a pretty good ball game.
He did.
Hollywood Brown is out. That's going to have implications on how the Chiefs roster makeup's going to be. Are you going to keep 7 wide receivers? You're going to keep 3 running backs? You're going to keep 4 running backs, maybe 6 wide. Are you going to cut down on one of your tight ends, which you had a lot of success in at the end of last year? Yeah, one injury can do that. When he's going to be back, I don't know. Separated shoulder, trying to come back for week 1 against Baltimore. Then you got Cincinnati in there.
I heard it's like week 3 is their projected time at this point.
And we talked about it this morning, but maybe a new crowd in at the 12:30 hour. Caden Davis from Ellsworth, the big play. If you didn't know as you were watching the game, that's Kansas Ties from Ellsworth. Caden Davis going 60-plus yards. Hoping he makes the squad up in Detroit.
He's in Denver.
He's Detroit. He
was Detroit. I'm sorry. Okay, my bad.
Well, he was wearing a Denver uniform, but he was playing for the Lions.
Speaking of the Broncos,
I knew we'd get there.
2-0. They beat the Packers 27-2. Now, the Packers sat 31 players, but I'm not going to say that because the Lions benched all their guys, and the Chiefs could get nothing but field goals against them.
Somebody got a safety in preseason?
It was probably on a kickoff return, right? That's how the Chiefs got a safety earlier this year. But Bo Nix is looking the part so far, although Sean Payton isn't ready to name a starter. Jared Stidham came in, took him on a scoring drive, 17-0 at halftime. It's the old thing, well, we're 0-2 like the Chiefs, but it's preseason. It doesn't matter. But if you're 2-0.
And you're the Broncos who have struggled lately, things are looking good for Denver.
I absolutely agree. So the 2-0 Broncos host the Cardinals Sunday to complete their preseason.
They're playing a preseason game on Sunday. I guess they got like 10 days.
And who schedules a preseason game that kicks off at 3 o'clock in Kansas City
in the middle of August?
In the middle of August.
Yeah. Well, we had some people there that were in a suite, and they said it was nice air conditioning, and everybody else sitting outside.
Oh, you mean the person that kept showing, by the way, I was in a suite.
Yeah. Have they done that at least 3 times this morning?
I saw 4. Okay, I saw 4.
That's the over and under.
Yeah. Okay, we got a Caitlin Clark in, right?
Right.
Sean Bear's here. I'm ready to get him in here. You guys going to stick around? I mean, this isn't Panther talk. That's going to be what it's going to be during the regular season. Yeah, Sean Bear. I mean, it's opening day here for Sports Day.
I bet he has an opinion on the new kickoff rules.
Oh, he's got an opinion on everything. That's why we're bringing him in here.
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we?
We'll ask him if he wants to talk about Caitlin Clark. It's all coming up here on Sports Day. That's brought to you by Barton Community College and Barton Athletics. Get ahead with online or dual credit classes at Barton Community College. Earn a certificate or associate degree while in high school. Learn more at gobarton.com. Sports Day rolling on after this.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Extend the life of your equipment with the best warranty program and risk management tool in the agriculture industry. The Cenex Total Protection Plan covers new and used equipment. Receive up to 10 years or 10,000 hours of engine coverage when you use Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster premium diesel fuel and synthetic lubricants. With no deductible, the Cenex Total Protection Plan provides unmatched coverage to give you the power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor, today.
The Royals return home to open a 3-game series against the Angels Monday.
Cruz delivers. Fermin bounces it down the third base line. Fair ball over the bag, down the sidewall into the corner. Blanco hits the third base bag. Wilson waves him in. No relay home. Blanco dives across safely.
It's game 1 of 3 between KC and the LA Angels Monday. Pregame at 6:30 on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Royals baseball brought to you in part by the Liquor Box in Hoisington, Empire Improvements, by Barton Community College, Next Tech, and by Advanced Truck and Diesel.
It's time to dig deep into Great Bend Panther football on Sports Day as we bring you the color analyst for Great Bend Panther football, a former Panther himself and Fort Hays State Hall of Famer, Sean Bear.
You know, I'm going to have to make sure that we don't go back to our Fort Hays days on the show. I mean, I'm sure we'll get there at some point.
Well,
probably today, I would imagine.
There's too many good stories.
Sean Bear is in with us. You know, I was so excited when Hesh brought me the news. Sean Bear's going to do color.
Well, hey.
I was, are you serious? Does he know who the play-by-play guy is? He said, yeah, he does.
Offer a guy a McDonald's cheeseburger and an ice cream cone, and you can get him to do about anything.
I didn't say anything about the ice cream cone.
Well, that's for wins.
Okay.
That's what Gehring always used to throw in the ice cream cone for wins.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Do you remember what my first question was to you when I talked to you the other day?
What's good with this doofus?
Yeah. Yeah, you worked with Randy Gehring. Have you ever worked with the likes of Mike Hesher?
Well, we're going to make it work.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, congratulations. It's going to be fun.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Not only to be on the radio, but it's football season. Doesn't feel like it out there just quite yet, but it's.
And it won't be nothing against the '87 Panthers when that was my first year of doing Panther football back in the day, and they beat Junction City and then went to Manhattan and fought a great battle, got beat 14-0, came back, beat Garden City, and then they didn't win another game the next 2 years that I was doing the play-by-play. So
87 was that when they were boiling rabbits and stuff around town?
Yeah, that was a rabbit. That was the rabbit story.
Yeah, back in the day, right?
The dirty 30s with head coach Greg Hall. But,
that's right.
Yeah, so you're back on.
I'm pumped. Like I said, I've been kind of thinking that I needed to do something like this, and this is the time you want to get in. What a great group of kids
high
school's going to have. They're rolling off that season last year when they weren't expected to do a whole lot, and all of a sudden a young group of kids came in and just said, you know what, watch this. So
it is amazing to me, and we're seeing it more and more. You might see a freshman kid maybe contribute, maybe at a small school that was playing 8-man football. They didn't have a lot of numbers, and they'd come in. But we're seeing it all over now in all sports, as you would know. You've got a daughter who's done pretty well as a freshman contributing right away. We have, freshman football players like Cooper Omott comes in last year and contributes right away at a 5A school, big boy football, and they're able to jump in right away. It's incredible to me.
It's a crazy semantic that's going on. I mean, these kids know so much about football by the time they get to high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with Daxton Minton a couple of summers ago, and I mean, he was reading defenses. He knew where they were going to be, pre-snap reads. He was talking through it just like, a seasoned guy. And you're thinking, my gosh, the parents that are helping these kids along the way to learn the game are doing a fantastic job. The only thing you got to worry about sometimes with the freshmen is they're a little bit undersized. But there again, this year, they weren't that undersized. Or I should say last year, they weren't that undersized. And they went out there and made great contributions. So.
Well, Trent Kern, I mean, he completed his first, summer of all-star wrestling coming out of junior high.
Well, the kid had to shave when he was in 7th grade. I mean, he had that little Pepe Le Pew mustache that he used to wear around all the time. And
don't call him that.
Yeah, right.
Hash is scared of him, but
have you seen him? Yeah.
Well, yes, I have. Talk about your pre-snap reads when you were in high school.
Oh, it was always nearest softest. So what you do is you come up to the line of scrimmage, and you look for the nearest corner or the softest corner. If you're on the near side of the field and that guy's playing bump and run, you look to the wide side of the field. If he's off 7, you know that, well, if I'm going to throw it, that's where I'm going to go. Vice versa. You look at the alignment of the linebackers, and you check the depth of the free safety. I mean,
I shouldn't ask you that because my pre-snap read was just look the other way because I was going to throw the pass to the right no matter what, so I was going to look left so they wouldn't think I was going to throw right.
That's why you're on the radio.
That's why you lasted 1 year. Yes. Coaching is so much different now.
No. It is. No, it absolutely is. And there's like I said, there's things that these younger kids know. There's all these summer 7-on-7 leagues, and there's in the wintertime, coaches are sending game film and they're studying game film. So there's a lot of knowledge that's out there that's making high school football on Friday nights a heck of a lot better.
How about the play calling? Your age versus what you see it in college, they've got the different pictures, whatnot. I believe that's came on down to the high school level. How about the difference of the level of play calls that are coming in and how the quarterback has to know what's going on?
Well, a lot of times at the college level, you got 3 plays called on one alignment. So you walk up to the line of scrimmage and you got 3 different plays that you could run. And at that point, you can look over and see the Cheryl Teagues picture on the sideline, which may stop a few quarterbacks from remembering what the play calls were. But, you've got all that crazy stuff going on, but you've literally got 3 plays that you could run at any point in time. Depending on the coverage, you might want to run the ball. If they're up tight to the line of scrimmage, you might want to try to throw the ball. So there's a lot involved. And the crazy thing is these high school kids are starting to do that now. So there's a lot involved, and the game has changed immensely from even back when I played at Hayes. So it's fun to watch. Like I told you, Corson, you can't have tunnel vision. The thing is you got to see the whole field, and it's amazing to see what these kids are doing and the knowledge that they have of the game.
I know that once you got this, you start digging into Panther football. So what are some of the nuggets maybe you discovered that you didn't even know about this team and coming up this season?
You know, I didn't realize how much of a load that I'm going to have to look again here, but Cody Miller, you know, he touched the ball 183 times in the backfield last year. I mean, that's toting the rock. You figure
a lot of catches that he had. I mean,
the offense kind of went through him. So, you know, when coach is talking about, hey, we have to fill a void at running back, that's a pretty big void because there was a lot of that offense that went through him. And you got to find somebody that can balance that attack. So Minton can drop back and, you know, find the Premers and everybody else who's going to be running routes, the Omox. You got to balance that out somehow. So there's going to be somebody that needs to step up in that backfield pretty quickly and pretty heavily.
Especially when you got four wides a lot of the time. I mean,
you got four
that
wides.
running back. I mean, he's got to block. He's got to read things just like the quarterback does.
That's exactly right. And again, you talk about knowledge of the game. There's teams that go out there and play nickel. You know, they've got 8 DBs rushing 3. And so if you just line up and want to throw the ball, you're going to be outnumbered in the secondary. You got to be able to run the ball and get people to pull down into the box so you can open up the passing game. So again, it's definitely a different critter out there, a different animal. But it's for a guy that like myself, you know, that you just see things. It's pure football at its best.
They, you know, lost a couple good offensive linemen, offensive and defensive linemen. Those, you know, it's always funny when, you know, basketball, they only lost one guy. Well, he was the best player on the team. He's the best player in the state. Same way with football sometimes. You know, Hoisington has a ton back this year. Oh, they only really lost one key guy. Well, he was the best player on the team.
Well, don't forget about Caden Hoffman. I mean, there were 2 that they lost, but
I'm counting the quarterback.
Well, I realize that,
okay,
but don't forget about Caden Hoffman.
So you can't get in the numbers saying, well, they didn't lose very many guys. It's who you lost, but they do have a ton back. It should be fun.
They do, and I tell you, there's a toughness that's out there. I saw a game last year where, I don't know, Owen Kaiser, I think he had a bummed up shoulder. He was cramping, and you couldn't keep the kid off the field. You know, I think he was playing both ways. Of course, TK, Trent Kern, you know, he's out there, he's cramping because he's playing 100 snaps a game. There's definitely a toughness, and you know, at that point in time, you were talking a sophomore and of course a junior. But I mean, these guys are playing at another level. That's one of the reasons I'm excited to get back in the box and just have an excuse to go and call this. And of course, I go into, Hesher doesn't know this, but I go into kind of mummy mode. I just, you know, don't talk to me anything, don't say anything to me outside of the box because I'm in focus. That's why people don't like watching games with me, because I don't carry on conversations. I just want to watch the game.
So thus you come to the press box where no one can do that to you.
Perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, Hesh doesn't like talking to anybody either. So
well, you know, what did I catch on the way here? I'm your rescue animal, or what was that?
Companion animal.
Companion animal.
Yeah.
The bear, the companion animal.
It's just to calm him down. So
yeah,
cool schedule. Olathe South.
Yeah, get into some new blood. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know, expand our reach, and I'm glad that they're coming here for the first year.
Yeah.
So
Me
we'll get
too.
to see that. I can remember we tried that a couple of years back, maybe 8 years ago. We went out to Kansas City, and I'll be danged if we weren't playing. I can't remember who we played, but it was like a Blue Valley or somebody like that, and it came down to a fourth and like 1.5 for us to win the game. And if we converted a first down, we would run the clock out. We went for it, and unfortunately didn't make it, and they went down and they scored. But it was a heck of a ball game, and for the kids from Kansas, Western Kansas, to go and start tapping guys out east on the shoulder, you know, that's a lot of fun, and that says a lot. So
things are different now. I mean, you've got Ian Premer getting all kinds of looks, and I think about Ian, I'm thinking, okay, probably in a couple of years, probably less than that now, he will be making more money than probably like 90% of the people in Great Bend. What an opportunity.
Oh, yeah. You know, and the thing is this is coming from a guy that when we played, you got a full ride scholarship. You had your books and tuition paid. You got a $300 a month rent check. Man, you were living on the hog. That was life. Now these kids are actually getting paid to go through it. So there's maybe a little resentment for us back in the day. But
you were getting $300 for rent?
Yeah, rent and eat. That's what. So you had to live in a house with like 7 guys.
Well, okay, so
Well, inflation, that's like $575 now.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a unique thing. I don't know if it's good or bad for the sport. My personal take is it's probably going to be a bad thing down the line. There's going to be a lot of behind the scenes things that go on, and you're going to have super teams. Remember before the you guys are baseball guys, before the salary cap, remember what the Yankees used to do? George Steinbrenner had the deepest pockets of anybody, and he'd load up his teams. Well, I think in college football that could happen too. Sorry, we don't have a scholarship for you, but we're going to give you an NIL deal for about how about $300,000 a year.
And of course, he can't play in the big conference championship game because he's, been arrested for income tax evasion.
Well, and that's the other side of it. When is the first lawsuit going to come out to where the guy doesn't make academic eligibility and has to sit on the bench and it costs him his NIL deal for not being able to, quote unquote, make a grade?
Yeah.
Or get yourself in trouble, be suspended, and you lose an NIL deal over that. When is that big one coming? That's a big thing. But, back to the Great Bend kids, what an opportunity for them to have somebody that's getting looked at by big schools. And at some point, you realize that there's what do they got? An eye test. And right now, Premier is big on the eye test. 6 foot.
6'6", yeah.
6'6".
Runs very fast.
Very fast. 210, 220.
Plays safety.
That's a kid that can actually go anywhere and play in any position. I think J.J. Watts might have been a quarterback at some point in his
Travis Kelce was
Travis Kelce was a quarterback. Those guys, when you got the size, they can bring you in and do just a little bit of anything with you. So, you meet that eye test. Now it's time just to prove it on the field.
The coolest thing with and all these kids, you talk about being grounded. They have good parents, but is Ian? I mean, it's easy to root for that kid.
He's so laid back. He calls Kai every once in a while, and they kind of hang out and they do their Snapchat or whatever the heck they use. But just down home, laid back, and that was one thing. I don't know a lot of things, but that was one thing that I reached out to he and his parents last summer when this thing started rolling for him. And I said, you're going to get a lot of attention, and there can be a lot of positive feedback, but there can also be a lot of negative feedback. There's what about my kid type things. And, so I told him, just stay humble with it. Don't overbearing. Don't make it all flash. Don't talk about it a lot in public. It's a great thing. It's a great opportunity for him. But, those other kids, holy cow, do they have an opportunity, because they're going to be teams that are coming in and watching. And, Owen Kaiser. And what about the big other defensive lineman?
Ash?
I don't have the sheet in front of me.
Schnoblin.
Yes.
Yes.
Those guys are big. Those guys have
athletic,
the
too.
D1 size and athletic.
Yeah, a lot of them wrestle. Aiden Davidson, big kid.
Yeah.
Connor Holiday, are hearing a lot about him. So, yeah, a lot of big, tough athletes. It's going to add up.
And that's what they look for. The big, tough kids, can you play at that level, and can you handle the heat, and can you play hurt?
So, Ian Premier does not need another feather in his cap, but Catch It Kansas had the awards for the best athlete across all seasons. Hoisington's Tony Moore was in there. Leighton Cure from Goodland was one of the candidates. Ian Premier.
Yeah.
Premier won the vote across 3 sports.
And you've got a freshman that won the state triple jump as a freshman. Cooper Omont. Wow.
Who never triple jumped before, correct?
No.
Hey, let's do this.
I don't want to go out for
I listened to that. Cooper's actually my nephew. And I listened to that on the radio, and it was great, because I think you asked him, so what'd they tell you? He said, well, they told me I was going to run and jump a couple of times. So I thought I'd just run and jump a couple of times. So, he's a guy with a lot of words. I'm sure Jim likes to interview those kind of guys in the newspaper. But that's the greatest thing. There should be a lot of excitement. I'm excited. I think Coach Beck needs to be absolutely ecstatic right now. He's got a good core group of kids coming in, and you just hope there's some big things that happen.
Here we go. Well, Mondays with Bear.
I'm
That's
digging
good. Yeah, okay. Well, we need to come up with something better than that, but we'll put our research team on it.
Wearing a bear suit, Joel.
Sean, appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys. Looking
Sean
forward to a
Bear,
good year.
he is going to be with us on Monday to talk Panther football and recap those Friday night games. He's going to be with Mike Hesher this year on the mic on B1043 The Point. Sports Day. Let me see what Jimbo's got on here. Okay.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Zach Strite, commercial lender for Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Discover affordable education with Barton Online. Whether you're looking to pick up a class or earn your associate degree, we've got you covered for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling with 5 sessions available this fall, including 16, 8, and 4-week sessions. Get started when it fits your schedule. Tackle your gen eds or the first 2 years of college with the low-cost pathway and save time and money with Barton Online. Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
KVGB Sports is your home for all the sports news in Central Kansas.
It doesn't mean much, especially as we get close to kicking off, but I also have to make sure that it does mean something for this program, considering where we're at. We need to make sure that we're taking stride from last year and then enough this year that people are recognizing this program.
KVGB Sports, weekday mornings at 7:35. Brought to you by the American Plains Co-op and by Town and Country Supermarket in Hoisington. And don't miss Sports Day, Monday through Friday at 12:30.
He's passionate about his high school sports and his trendy sports apparel. Sports Day presents the Great Bend Tribune's Jim Masunas.
You just kind of, you kept it pretty simple today, Jim. I thought you'd be like, some Nike.
Yeah, I got scolded. I got scolded at home. I said you were supposed to wear a new uniform today, so we'll get it figured out probably in 2 weeks because I don't imagine we're going to do Labor Day. Is that right?
No, you're right. We do have Labor Day coming up. We'll just push it to Tuesday. Jim Masunas joins Great Bend Tribune. Back with us. Good summer?
Yeah, good summer. Yeah, it was nice and hot and dry for the most part, and so, it was nice because summertime. Although the Batcats didn't make the national tournament, it was fun to see Hutchinson get on to the final again, and the league did very well. All 4 teams made the tournament.
Yeah.
And 3 of the 4 teams lost to league teams, so Hutchinson was one of the few teams that lost to somebody else, and that was to Hayes. And it was nice for Frank Leo for him to get a championship. So. Yeah, it was fun summer. The Batcats didn't quite achieve what they wanted, but they were awfully close.
I just want the Batcats to have a year where there's not some
something weird happening.
Something weird happens, whether the July 16th hailstorm or let's see, someone gets into the clubhouse, takes all your electronics, stuff like that. So I think Roger Ward would probably like that as well, right?
Oh, no question. And the theory about playing mostly junior college guys, I think it worked out really well. They had a manageable staff and they had some players with tremendous summer, so it was fun to see the progress for Roger Ward and company.
Okay, thoughts on the Royals?
Yeah,
here we are. They're in it till the end, I think.
Cleveland, ended up getting swept and gained 3 games in 3 days, so that's pretty nice.
You have some trivia for us today?
Oh yeah, the trivia is this has never happened in Major League Baseball history. When Toronto and Boston played a game a couple months ago, the catcher for Boston, Danny Jansen, was up to the plate for the Boston Red Sox. And then the game got delayed, and for some reason it wasn't rained out. It was postponed to be carried on at another point in time. So between then and now, he got traded to the Toronto Blue Jays. So guess who Boston was playing that day? The Toronto Blue Jays. So Danny Jansen's up to the plate hasn't batted yet. He gets traded to the Toronto Blue Jays, which they play next Monday. So he could play for both teams, which has never happened in Major League history.
But that game, so they're resuming it, right?
They're resuming it. That's
well,
right.
You can't go.
No, you can. You can. See,
so he's going to appear in two different in the same box score for
box
different teams.
That's right. For two different teams, it's never happened. So it'll be fun next Monday. Danny Jansen, and of course the Cubs beat Toronto 2 out of 3. So Jansen's magic didn't work too well at Wrigley Field. But.
Okay, I thought I'd bring this up since you're a baseball guy because. I mean, it's as they say, a two-horse race for American League MVPs. They don't get into the MVP things because, well, a lot of times your player's not in it, right? Well, you have Bobby Witt Jr. and Aaron Judge, both having historic seasons. And you just look across so Yahoo Fantasy Baseball, which is that's how you rate players, right? Okay, so the top players and they rate them on runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, and average. Okay, easily. Bobby Witt, number 1 in all of Major League Baseball. Aaron Judge, number 2. You look at these numbers. Going into the night, Bobby Witt Jr. scored 107 runs. Aaron Judge, 96. Witt with 173 hits. Aaron Judge with 145. Witt, 25 home runs, Judge with 44, Bobby Witt Jr. with 91 RBIs, Aaron Judge has 111, and Witt has 25 stolen bases, and Aaron Judge has 6. Who's your MVP?
Oh, I got to go with Bobby Witt. There's two things to consider there that sometimes you don't think about is they tend to pitch around Judge, and they walk him somewhat more.
And we're going to see that more. I mean, Witt got walked yesterday.
But they haven't pitched around Witt, and he doesn't have the protection that maybe Judge has, and he's not feared by pitchers. So that's two things to consider, but the simple fact of the matter is when Witt's been given an opportunity, he's delivered. So, I got to go with Witt. And like I said, numbers are numbers, but frankly, Yankee Stadium is way easier to hit home runs in than Royal Stadium. So that's part of it too.
For a left-hander.
Yeah.
For a left-hander. If you're righty. Of course, Judge does go the other way every once in a while. But, it's
a friendlier ballpark.
It's been a fun season.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and to be in the next 2 weeks, they play a really tough schedule against the top teams in the American League. So it'll be fun to see whether they can hold their end of the water up and be fine. If they continue to play like they have, they're going to be fine.
Jim Azunas in with us right now. So today, here we go. We get started. Fall sports season is underway. Jim, what's some things that you're looking at going into the fall this year?
Well, it's the best Great Bend high school football team I've seen, and they've had some teams that have gone on in the playoffs. But as far as your top 6 or 8 players, without a doubt, it's the best talented bunch of players that I've seen in 10 years. And the big question is just at running back, how they replace Dalton Miller.
Good point that Sean Bear made.
And because I think it'll be, I honestly think Cale Kern will slip in there. I think they'll use the H-back as a back. They'll slide in a guy running in motion and pitch him the ball. Cooper Onmont and Ian Premer, they'll get some pitches. So they'll diversify a little bit, but we'll see how that position goes because Coach Beck has never been one to say, okay, this guy's not big enough, tall enough. No, he just puts a really good athlete, a quick-footed kid back there. So I'm inclined to think they'll probably not necessarily be one guy. It'll probably be a backfield by committee, and it'll work out just fine. But that's one of the few positions that they need to be too concerned about because they've got some linemen back both sides of the ball. The other thing is so many of their players like Ian Premer, Trenton Kern, Owen Kaiser, they're so good on both sides of the ball that it tempts you to play a lot of guys both ways. And, hey, I'm not taking Ian Premer off the field. I'm not taking Trenton Kern off the field. And then beyond that, it's sort of pick and choose. But that'll be one thing that will be a situation that they'll deal with. They want to develop that depth, but you also want to have your best players on the field, which is unusual for a 5A team because generally speaking, Coach Beck has not wanted to have too many guys going both ways. But like I said, those two guys are so.
How do you take them off the field? Yeah.
No, I don't want to tell Trenton Kern that Aaron Kaiser. No, I'm not going to tell those guys. No, you're not playing. I'd say you let me know when you're not able to play, and then you can take a break. So yeah, that's competitive spirit of those individuals. That's just the nature of the way they build. It's tremendous to see.
Jim, we appreciate you being on the show again this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so when can we look for the preseason guide coming out?
Well, it'll be August 31, so it'll be a week from Saturday. And so it'll be a week before the season starts, because the season doesn't start till, for football, is September 6th, after Labor Day. Last year we started before Labor Day.
Yes, we did.
But, the calendar swings depending upon when Thanksgiving falls. So this year we're going a week further back, which is good for anybody who's considering two-a-days, because back in the day, you had two-a-days for 2 weeks, and then you started school after Labor Day. So the kids nowadays, they don't realize, back in the day, they don't realize how easy they really have. No, summer times are really busy for those youngsters nowadays. So it's a lot of time and effort involved in athletics these days. Yeah, it should be a fun year for Great Bend athletics again. The girls' volleyball will be good. Girls' basketball will still be competitive. And, of course, Ellenwood and St. John will have tremendous volleyball seasons. And then Hoisington and Larned both expect to be very competitive football teams, too.
Look forward to talking to you about it, Jim. Appreciate it. We'll see you next Monday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. No, it's next Monday.
It's Labor Day.
Not next Monday.
It isn't Labor Day?
No.
When's Labor Day this year?
Labor Day is September 2nd.
Okay, so we will be good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a week ahead, which is always good.
He's all excited. Okay, back in the day, yeah. Jim, thanks. Coming up next, on the prowl, Mike Corson's back. He'll be talking with Lyles Lashley, Great Bend Panther cross-country coach here on Sports.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Discover affordable education with Barton Online. Whether you're looking to pick up a class or earn your associate degree, we've got you covered for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling with 5 sessions available this fall, including 16, 8, and 4-week sessions. Get started when it fits your schedule. Tackle your gen eds or the first 2 years of college with the low-cost pathway and save time and money with Barton Online. Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Haven't heard that song in about 3 months, but that means it's time for Lyles Lashley. Did you make it through the summer, Coach?
Yeah, I hadn't heard that song in a long time either.
Thought maybe
missed it.
Pipe in. Long time summer. We'll talk about the Olympics in a second. Any other big events in your world over the last 3 months? The red trailer going?
Yeah, it's been a little busy pulling that trailer around and cooking. It's been kind of a wild summer. Kind of fun. Just never a dull moment, that's for sure.
We will get into the Olympics. Obviously, Summer Olympics was track, but the talk of the world is B-Girl Reagan. Your thoughts on the Australian break dancer?
I haven't really paid attention to it a whole lot. I kind of watched it for just a minute and thought, man, I could be in the next Olympics.
No, because in L.A. they've discontinued it already, but they did that before she danced, so they can't blame her for that.
Oh, okay. Well, L.A.'s let's stay there, because I was hoping my opportunity to go to the Olympics finally was here.
B-Boy Lashley. Yeah, track and field, obviously the world's best going at it. anything that stuck out to you that was fun to watch or kind of fun to see the people compete?
The whole thing was awesome. It was great. The other thing with the Olympics is when they're overseas, it kind of stinks that if you don't watch it live, because you never not find out, So you had to watch it live. And then when I was working, I would just pull up my phone. But the days it didn't work, it was great. The whole Olympics was awesome. Just the whole track and field thing was great.
Yeah, and you had to remember to set your DVR for 3 a.m. and for noon because you get the morning and the evening. So, yeah, I kind of got into a pattern for about 8 days, and it was nice when it was over. The big one for the Americans, obviously, that 4x1 men's struggles, and you think, they dominated the prelims, mixed it up. As a coach, what do you see there that these professionals can't get a handoff?
Well, I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand the 4x1. So they run the prelims. So they run, Coleman to Curley, and then they run those two subs at the end, which those guys ran well that day. So in natural sense, you're going to put Kenny Bernard and Noah Lyles in there, right? So they practice the whole time, Coleman, Curley to Bernard to Noah Lyles. So if Noah Lyles is not running, it's still natural to put Coleman to Curley to Bernard to whoever runs. They let the same guy that ran anchor the day before. Why did they throw Bernard second all of a sudden? They hadn't practiced that. They probably practiced the day before for the first time. So why not just keep it the order they had it? Just put that the other that one kid last. It'd been just fine. Or just run the order they ran the day before.
Too much coaching, maybe. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Two more real quick. Obviously, I was highly emotionally charged in the mixed 4x4. Isn't it fun to watch the orange track down the U.S. when you see your Femke Bol show up at the race?
So here's a question about that. How come swimming can do whatever order they want, but track has to go boy, girl, boy, girl?
Yeah, they took the fun out of it. When it was mixed and you had 2 men, 2 women, and you could run them any order, it was fun to watch somebody take a giant lead and then get trucked down later, and you never knew.
I thought it was great. It used to be. And then they switched this. Obviously that was a heck of a race. It was awesome, but I like it when they can run whatever they want to run. Because you know that year the one guy went out way too hard on the end, and the girl he passed the girl, and then she passed him back.
It was, and you never knew who was in the lead, so the athletes probably didn't either. So they were always pedal to the metal. The other one, the men's 1500. Obviously, the Americans made a really big thing this year, but 1500, you had the Europeans doing all the trash talking, and here comes Cole Hocker. How fun was that finish?
That call by the announcer was the best thing I've heard in forever. For Cole Hocker to get cut off with 100 meters or 80 meters to go after running 1,400 meters, and to be able to come back and do what he did after being cut off, because I think Ingebrigtsen thought he had him cut off, and then he went to rolling out Kerr into lane 5 and left that big old gap open. That's just amazing to come back. And like I said, I think I'll watch that last 100 meters probably 15 to 20 times. It was so awesome. Matter of fact, we get off the phone, I think I'm going to watch it again.
And what do you think about Ingebrigtsen deciding, hey, I'm almost going to push world record pace here, but I'm going to front run. I'm going to win or lose it?
I kind of liked it. That was cool because I didn't want to see a slow race. I didn't want to see a sit and kick race. That's the race I wanted to see, and it was awesome that we had 3 Americans in the top 5.
Yes. Obviously, we've got all season to talk to you about Great Bend Panther cross-country teams, so we'll talk more about previews next season. But just real quick, obviously some big losses, especially on the girls' side last year. How are the kids doing heading into this first week of practice?
They're doing. We've had some girls put in some really, really good summers. Bella Long has put a great summer in. So has Taya King. And then Marissa Boone obviously has put in a really good summer. But then we're adding Reese Buller this year, so that's definitely a great foundation of 4 people. And then you throw Sienna Smith in there, and then we got a couple more that are doing that. And we've had some boys put in some good summers too with Taven Stroop and Ismael Ramirez, and then yours truly, my son, actually has had a really good summer too. So Brogan Lashley, we're excited to see what he does. So we have a good little Douglas, and we're going to have Diego Passos come over and dual sport with soccer and cross country. So, that'll be a pretty good little nucleus we have for the boys side too. So we're excited about that.
Talking to Great Bend High School cross country coach Lyles Lashley. Yeah, practice getting underway today. So come next week, maybe we'll get a recap of how that first week went. But Coach, good to talk to you after 3 months, and we will see you around this fall.
Thanks, Brian. Looking forward to it.
More Sports Day after this.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
The team that they're marching out with this year, we know they have an all-world defense, and now their offense has more weaponry for Mahomes to work with. Dare I say that this iteration of the Kansas City Chiefs in 2024 will be the best version of them that we've seen over the last 3 years.
Well, listen, he's played well. I'm not announcing any starting quarterback tonight.
Bo, do you think you've done enough to earn the starting quarterback job?
That's not for me to decide.
ESPN Radio, nights and weekends, only on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
For the past 13 years, Sports Day has been the show devoted to local sports and local athletes. And it's all brought to you by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Sports Day, 1 in the books. Just a few more to go here. Steve Webster back with you in the Mayo Money Management Studios. Mike Hesher is with me as well. One down, we're going okay. Tomorrow's show, Cole Reif will be in. We'll kind of talk some Hoyston football a little bit, kind of his summer, how it went. We're still 3 weeks away from getting this thing started, so we've still got, still a little. Wait, you're on 4. Okay,
I'm on 4. Can we get to talk baseball, which is shocking to me about the Royals at this time?
Something interesting they came out with the Associated Press All-American team today. So you have the SEC with 10 first-team players, Big Ten with 8, ACC with 4, and the Big 12 with 3.
That's it.
Independent, 2, so one of those was a Notre Dame player, and the other player, I believe, was from Louisville. Well, Louisville's in a conference, so that would be the ACC.
Yeah. A little SEC bias, maybe?
No, there's just...
They're good.
Yeah, they're good.
They got some talent in that league.
Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State, first-team All-American running back. Travis Hunter, all-purpose player.
Colorado. Yep.
And then Teteroa McMillan from Arizona.
Which is all Big 12 now. That's just freaky.
It's hard to pick them out.
Is.
It's just go down the list. Yeah, K-State's going to get a look at Arizona here. Week 3.
Yeah, Deion Sanders says the kid from Colorado is better than he was. So,
Travis Hunter plays both ways.
He does play both ways, yeah.
All right, Hesh, appreciate it. And I think you landed a pretty good color analyst there in Sean Barry. I think you're going to be fine.
Football seminars on Friday night.
We'll be back tomorrow, Sports Day, here on KVGB.